But that's hard for people to comprehend, that you want something different for your kid.
Yeah, they're fucking retarded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because look at how sad the King Von situation is. When they was showing the little boy watching the videos of him, and you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't keep up with that aspect of things and how things affect people, and you know, or just not being there, doing a bid, and your kid is raised without you, and that does things to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with mine, nah, she want to be a cop, she can be a cop. She want to be a doctor, she can be a doctor. I'm not gonna let her dress up as a fucking gang member.
That's
I'm
a
not
good
going
idea.
for that shit. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean, once you're in the public eye too, it's like, you know, I'm gonna be very mindful of anything.
I don't care about the public eye though, bro. I'll publicly beat the shit out of somebody. Like nobody's just gonna say something about my daughter, and
Right.
you know, especially if we're like in person. Like I'm not for the criticizing, and I don't do that. I'm not gonna play about that.
I just feel like now at this point, it's probably way easier and simpler for me to just never put my kid on the internet anymore, because even like little things, like my kid has a little kid makeup set. And it's not like makeup, but it's just like little powder or whatever. And she'll just be like putting on her face and messing around or whatever. And I could just already imagine that somebody would see that and be like, look at his daughter is wearing makeup at this age. Isn't that fucked up somehow?
They got boys wearing makeup at young ages, and that's supposed to be normal.
But
See,
it's
this is that now we're creeping into the cancel shit.
You're feeding the
beast. We can't
beast.
even talk about that type of shit. But
Why, you upset about Drake painting his nails and Uzi and all these people?
I don't give a fuck as long as it doesn't go to the kids.
Yeah.
If you a grown man, you want to make those type of decisions. See, I like Andrew Tate. I do.
Yeah.
I fuck with him. Sneako. Them boys.
Red Pill Jake. Okay, that's good to know.
I fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? I've never met Tate. I've met Sneako.
Right.
But I agree with a lot of the shit that they say. Yeah, I don't like.
Yesterday, I had my first ever real conversation with Andrew Tate on Aiden Ross's stream.
I was watching that,
and it was like he was so like cool and respectful, and basically just said like, your lifestyle is not for me, but I understand everybody does their own thing, yada yada.
Yeah.
The clips were like, Andrew Tate goes in on Adam 22 and Lena for their lifestyle, whatever.
Respectful.
He was actually super cool about it, and was
people will try
yeah.
to find any reason to fucking hate him.
Yeah,
because they either.
When I thought about it too, I was like,
whatever.
if me and Andrew Tate getting on that live stream would have been infinitely more viral if he actually really condemned me and said like, fucking, you're a terrible person, a terrible dad. Everybody would have stood in line to see that.
Who was the little kid that was talking shit?
Oh, Neon.
Yeah, and then everyone was in the comments like, bring bullying back.
Yeah. Neon, like Aiden Ross basically has like other characters that he brings onto the stream to talk shit for him.
Yeah.
You know?
I like Aiden Ross shit too, but fucking that kid right there, like, come on, bro.
Man, but they exposed Sneako.
For what?
For like, you know, he says he's Muslim and shit, and then his like, this girl that he was like seeing or whatever exposed text messages of him telling her to get Molly and I think trying to line up threesomes or some shit like that, which to me, hey, it's my kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm not doing Molly right now, but I've done a lot of it in the past. It's a great time. But when you're like saying you're a Muslim, it's a little bit harder to get away with that, I guess.
Up.
Yeah. But also it's like, do you really need to be claiming this religious belief if you're then going to be living like the opposite of it? But,
I mean, bro, you know how many gang members I know go to prison and turn Muslim just for the safety aspect of it? Same shit.
that same girl was sucking dick in here. Literally. She did a Patreon episode. I don't even mean to expose her or anything.
Do I know who the girl is?
Maybe.
Is it that one fucking something Powell?
No, not Selena.
Yeah, she be going crazy.
Yeah, she's insane.
Everybody. I seen Andrew Tate reject her.
Did he?
What? I seen that. I was like,
that's a wise idea on his part.
She said something about fucking him. And he's like, I only fuck for love or money. And she's like, I got money. He just laughed.
I mean, if you want to, like, Selena Powell, got nothing but love for her. But when she was the first ever episode of Plug Talk, and she was running away from the dick. Yeah. Like, the porn star, not me, the porn star guy was fucking her, and she's all like, kind of like, she just didn't look comfortable.
It's too much.
I'm like, how you fuck this many dudes and you're like squirming away when this guy's fucking you on camera? I was very confused. This doesn't look like a professional to me. But I don't know. I was trying to tell my girl the other day, like, let me fuck Selena Powell for OnlyFans.
You never fucked her?
No, I think my girl's a little worried about having her too associated with our brand, you know, which is very reasonable.
She be saying some wild shit.
She's out of her mind. She told me Antonio Brown got a small dick too, which is apparently everybody else is under the alternate impression.
I don't have a comment for that, Adam. I'm not in that world. I don't know nothing about that.
You don't need to have a comment yet.
No.
Are you a FYB J Main fan?
No.
Have you seen it?
I seen him, yeah.
You tuned in?
I'm not a fan in the sense like I listen
Okay.
to his shit and all that.
Right.
I don't got nothing bad to say about him.
He kind of like has made a whole stir because he's talking like real frankly and openly about shit that he's seen go on in Chicago back in the day. Like for instance, him even just going on an interview and saying that Tay Savage shot at him or that Fredo Santana shot at him, and he's just saying it like super frankly, which is like, it's a weird thing because in Chicago, even your ops, dudes don't really be talking about that kind of shit so openly. But he's calling Tay Savage a killer, saying like, yeah, he killed Blazing Doll's mom. He's just saying shit that like other people wouldn't be expected to say. Now, granted, like the thing about him killing Blazing Doll's mom, that was already like fully documented in some of these like hood documentaries.
Could you say he's smart then? Because what he's saying is things that nobody can get in trouble for, and he's going viral for doing it.
Yeah.
J Hood, I feel like, got more flack for the shit that he was putting out.
Well, the craziest thing that J Hood said is that Vaughn told him that Melly really killed his friends.
Yeah, no, J Hood be saying some shit that's like, nah, you're tripping.
Yeah.
But saying somebody, like if I said, oh yeah, Adam 22 shot at me back in the day,
Yeah.
it's my word against yours. You're not going to get charged for that.
Right, yeah.
And then if you beat a fucking murder and I'm like, oh yeah, Adam 22 really killed that bitch.
Yeah.
You're not going to get charged.
Yeah.
So it's like, he sees a way to make shit happen. He got everybody saying, do your homework, all that shit. So if you, he got some light on him right now.
He's probably like the breakout star of 2023 in this whole like hood media
You think so?
landscape. I mean, he's definitely up there. Like people are just talking about him constantly. He's always in the conversation. And even like the crazy thing that we've seen happen in the last couple of days is just him hopping on IG Live with his ops that like everybody assumed that if they were to ever run across each other that they would kill each other, like that him and Tay Savage thing. And now all of a sudden they're on stream. And I even saw King Yella saying that Tay Savage himself could kind of change the face of Chicago gangbanging because this is a real BD that really went and sat down for 10 years and he's hopping on IG Live with GDs and just having a conversation with them and keeping it cool. Like that really could change the culture to a certain degree, and anything that is able to relieve any amount of tension when it comes to a real deadly gang beef like that, we should all look at that and be like, that's fucking dope if we can kind of change the cultural norms around that shit.
Yeah, I mean, they say Tay Sav got a history.
Yeah.
So, you know, with that comes power. He's got influence. But at the same time, Chicago is Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
The new generation, all it takes is one of them to kill another one and the war is reignited, you know?
And also,
so
J Mane
I don't think the responsibility of uniting Chicago should fall on him.
Right.
You know, I don't think that it could solely be him that ties everything. But as far as like the industry and that generation, like Tay Sav, King Yellow, like their generation, they might be able to, you know?
Yeah, because it is like it's not even about responsibility. It's just about who makes what look cool. Because for all these years, like one thing you can say about King Von is he made being a killer seem like the coolest fucking thing in the world.
Who the fuck made anything positive look cool?
Yeah, well, look at like Odd Future. They for a period of time, Odd Future, Tyler the Creator, and all them. In like the early 2010s, they made they were like some of the first artists I seen come out of LA.
Isn't that like underground shit though?
It was, but it was really fucking popular for a while. But they presented like an archetype of a LA youth who wasn't involved in gangs, who liked skateboarding and fashion and kicking it with girls and maybe like smoking weed and drinking and shit. But it was like, if you offer up an alternative persona or an alternative style of being to kids that is different than like the gangbanger thing or whatever, then that could ultimately like let kids know like that they, and I remember even when I moved here 2010 2011, I had BMX homies that clearly were influenced by the Odd Future thing or influenced by BMX and skate culture and they would tell me like, nah, gangbanging shit, that's lame. And I quickly figured out that they were not the norm. But
a lot of people say that's lame though. But at the same time, if I do a video on Tyler the Creator and I do one on Tay Sav, which one do you think gonna pop?
But Tyler Creator is huge.
Man,
your audience doesn't give a fuck about him, but
no,
he's
yeah,
huge.
that's what I'm saying though. He's definitely made. I mean, a lot of people are big. J. Cole's big.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that in this other world they're gonna have an effect. You know what I'm saying? Like just the negative always outweighs the positive because people seek the negative. That's why they say don't watch the news. The news is 99% negative shit.
Right.
Nobody gives a fuck about who graduated. They want to hear about that fucking triple homicide in O Block, and then the rapper that just made a diss song about it. Like, that's just how it is.
I mean, the news at a certain point figured out that they could be on for 24 hours a day and they could always be highlighting the most dramatic, negative possible thing. And, you know, you see that with everything from, like, you know, the submarine. All we heard was that about that sub for a week or two there.
And then there was mad memes about it. Everything was imploding.
Just the idea that somebody would be like on the verge of death, that a bunch of guys might be dead or about to die, and that we're all able to sort of slowly watch it play out.